So Wonder Woman wasn't the only superhero film to come out this weekend. DreamWorks has released Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, and it is directed by David Soren. This film is based off of a children's book of the same name, and it follows these two boys who have such wild imaginations, maybe too wild for their own good. They find themselves getting into lots of trouble with their mean principal, so one day they hypnotize him into believing that he is the comic book character that they have created themselves named Captain Underpants. Now, this book series was actually really popular when I was a kid. I didn't really read it myself, but I do remember seeing these series of books in the library at like my elementary school or whatever. So going into this movie, I really wasn't expecting anything as far as fan service is concerned. I just wanted a fun, entertaining children's movie. For the most part, that's what I got. Something that I really liked about this movie is this film has a ton of heart behind it. As I previously stated, these boys have such wild imaginations, and I really feel like this movie really teaches a really good lesson that kids, it's okay for them to have imaginations. This film is also a very big advocate for arts programs in school, which is something that I really strongly support. They address how certain schools have been making cutbacks and how they don't really have an art class or a music class anymore. And that obviously is something that I'm very passionate about, is the arts. I thought the voice cast was also really excellent. Ed Helms voices Captain Underpants in this movie, and he does such a great job. Kevin Hart also voices one of the young boys in this movie, and I really don't like Kevin Hart in live action movies, but I'm starting to like him a lot more in animated films. He did this movie, and he also did Secret Life of Pets last year. I also think this is a very unique, cool looking animated film. It's very colorful. I like the way the characters looked. Like, this is the first movie that I've seen in a long time that has a sock puppet scene. Like, they're showing exposition with sock puppets. How cool is that? They also incorporate some of these kids' drawings, which do look very similar to how the children's book actually does look in real life. And there is a lot of funny moments in this movie. The people involved in this film are very funny and talented people, so that was one of the bright spots, is seeing their very quick and very clever humor. But unfortunately, that brings me to my biggest problem with this movie. The ratio of the quick, clever humor that I really enjoyed over the toilet humor and a lot of the fart jokes is pretty offset, and it's a little bit more leaning into a lot of the jokes in this film are very, very lowbrow and are very clearly geared towards children. As I said, I didn't really grow up reading the Captain Underpants books, so I don't know if the humor in those books is very toilet focused, but it really seems so in this movie. A lot of the jokes are about poop and farts, which, believe me, there were a ton of kids in my audience, and a lot of them were cracking up throughout the entire movie, so it's humor that's really going to resonate well with them, but the parents that are taking these kids to go see this movie probably won't be laughing as much as they will. And I know this movie's not dumb. Like, there are some very talented people working on this film, some very talented comedians that I know are very educated when it comes to comedy. So it was just a little disappointing to see them go to that lower demographic of that lowbrow humor as often as they did, especially when they prove so often that they can be really funny and clever. Overall, Captain Underpants is a very good looking film with a ton of heart and has great themes of imagination and creativity. And in this movie, there is a ton of witty, funny dialogue that unfortunately does get overshadowed by a lot of that lowbrow poop humor. So did you guys see Captain Underpants? What did you think about it? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you liked today's video. And if you did, click on the link down below, subscribe to my channel for more reviews and related things. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.